Welcome back. We're on step 5 today, and just to keep you in the right train of thought, we're in the CL system and we're still in the part called closure, because what we teach is that you really need to make peace with and say goodbye to the home that you're selling before you move on. And so today is a little different because it also starts getting you to think about what's next. So step 5 is titled Embracing Possibility. I love that concept. I love that word. Can you tell I might be a little attached to it? So this is about what is possibly in store for you. It's such an exciting time for you. Now, I know there are generally two camps at this point, because maybe you are selling this home willingly, or maybe you're currently feeling like you're being forced to sell. And no matter which, and I'm going to talk about them, we really want to ask you, why is the sale of this home going to be really, really great for you, no matter what the circumstances are that have brought you to this point? Now, if you've done the other steps leading up to step 5, you will have already gone and found and cultivated the awesome memories, and in step 2, got and processed some of those challenges. So this actually should be quite easy at this point, and if you haven't done those yet, please perhaps stop this video, go back and do those first. So let's talk about these two categories. Maybe this move is so exciting for you because, well, maybe you're relocating to a new country. That's a whole new possibility. Maybe you're changing neighborhoods. Maybe you're just moving 2 doors down, which is not uncommon. Maybe you are deciding it's upsize time. Maybe there's grandmas coming to live with you, babies on the way. It's time to get puppies and kittens and all sorts of things, and it's time to expand your home and the size of the property that you're in. And that is so exciting at this point in your life. Maybe you've had a big career jump, or your business is doing well, the family business is doing really well, and you want a bigger, better, kind of more sexy home. How beautiful if that's what's in store for you. Maybe actually you're doing the opposite right now and you're downsizing a little, you're simplifying, you're minimizing. Maybe you want a lock up and go so you can be a little more like me and you can gallivant around the world, or go off and see your grandkids, or go and follow that bucket list that you've been creating your whole life. And maybe you're just, I don't know, just so excited because every part of your life has led you to this point and you know it's time to move. So the possibility might seem quite easy for you. And then there are so many of you that have been really going through a tough time and feel like the sale is kind of being forced and put upon you, and it's being pushed into your space. So that can feel a whole lot more difficult. And if you still haven't paused and this is you, I'm going to challenge you to go back to step 2 and go and harness and process the challenges that you've faced in this property, because it's really hard to do the possibility if you haven't done that yet. But just to bring it top of mind, perhaps you or someone you love has been really battling with their health. I'll never forget a dear friend and client of mine was really battling with losing the use of her limbs, and she always had to be one step ahead of what was going through and going on with her body at a physiological level, because she knew every next step was going to require her to live differently. And the first one was she had a flat home, but there were small little steps throughout the home, and she knew within a year she wasn't going to be able to manage those steps. So the next move for her was finding a home that was completely flat, because she knew one day down the line she would be in a wheelchair, and she had to have her kitchen cabinets lowered. So she started looking at what was the possibility of this move and how was it going to make it easier for her to live in the new space. So maybe this is something to do with your health. Maybe, and I know this is so common nowadays with some really tough economic times happening, and I don't know what's happening for you or in your country or your neighborhood or whatever it is that's going on, but maybe you feel like you have to sell this property because it's eating up too much of your money, and you've got too much month at the end of your salary, and you actually just cannot afford to keep it. And that can feel so traumatic because you're uprooting yourself, your family. You might have all sorts of feelings of shame and loss, and I'm such a failure, and why on earth couldn't I make this happen? So it could be financial for you. Perhaps you are going through divorce, or even maybe a spouse has passed away recently. And those feel like such traumatic times to have to make the move. But you're here and you're doing this. And so it's looking at what's beyond all this potential trauma and hurt and just pain and difficult, challenging times. What's beyond it? Because beyond it is something fresh, something potentially exciting. So what we need you to do at this point, so that you really get that closure in your heart and your soul and your mind and within the space that you're living in, is how and why is the sale of this home actually going to be so flipping fantastic for you? That's what we need you to write down. And so it might help, you might have a couple of words that you can start the sentence with. So you could say, I'm excited that, or it's possible for me, or the sale of this home is going to unleash. So maybe I don't know if you're like me, you know that I love journals. Maybe you're writing down all these exercises and the answers to them in your journal, but also we're giving you some downloads that you can print off, and when they're downloaded, you can fill them out and stick them up maybe on your fridge or your mirror and just breathe this in every single day. We want you and every single cell in your body to be right on track and aligned. So when I do this, I want you to be aligned with everything that's going on, so that you're coming at this home sale with everything you've got and you feel delighted, energized, excited, and filled to the brim with possibility. That's our wish for you. And remember, just come and share with us. We are so nosy, actually. Come and share with us on the Facebook group. We'd love to know what's going on for you. And we'll see you in the next video.